Something that can derail your whole project before you even get rolling is diving in without a plan. So we're going to get ahead of that in this video by giving ourselves some lines to color in, curating our intake to condition our output, and using those limitations to inspire creativity within our borders. So hey, welcome back. I'm Eric, and this is the video series where we produce original music and talk about any of the hangups we might have. Okay, so we made the decision to start this project, but before we press record or even start writing, we need to understand what it is we're actually doing. If you're watching this video and you've made it to this point in your production journey, you have a rough idea about how this is all going to look for you. But unless we really strip that back and get to the heart of our intent and motivation, there's really little chance we're going to stick the landing when it's all said and done, even if you finish at all. So the first step in that process is to really understand why. Why are we doing this? What is motivating us to commit to all this work? Everybody's got their own motivations for things, and that can get really personal, but the only suggestion I have is the more specific, honest, and detailed you can get about this, the easier it's going to be to see yourself through the times where it's not quite as fun. I feel like I'm glossing over this a little bit, but this is a really personal step, and anything else I say here won't resonate with other people. I just can't stress enough how important it is to really dive into why you're doing it. Moving forward, the next thing we have to figure out is what we actually want from this project. So we need to identify and define our goals as a whole. This is where you ask yourself things like, what is your audience? What is it you want to convey? What's the feel you're going for? And what kind of time frame are you looking at? I would say best practice is to focus more on actionable steps you can take to achieve those in relatively short term. You know, eat the elephant one bite at a time. We know what we want and why, so now we get to build the walls of the sandbox we want to play in. It might sound a little counterintuitive, but by thinking inside the box, we stay a lot more focused, and it offers the opportunity to be much more creative while we work within the borders of our project. This is where you visualize and work backwards from what you imagine your finished project to be. Get specific about the aesthetic, different themes, the mood of the overall record, the genre and styles of music you want to incorporate, and even the number of tracks you imagine on the finished product. Okay, that was a lot, but holy shit, we made it. This is all going to come together by thinking of it like planning a trip to the world we just built. To get yourself ready to color within the lines, you're going to want to start curating the content you consume. Listen to the music that's in keeping with the style you want to write, and watch things that are in line with the mood or feel you're looking for your project. I used to think that was a trash idea. Like, why wouldn't you want to draw from across your influences and let inspiration dictate where you go from there? By surrounding yourself with content in keeping with your goal, it puts you in that mindset, and it gets a lot easier to speak that language. Like, you wouldn't prepare for a trip to France by learning Italian, right? So your influences outside of the box are going to come through naturally because that is your identity as an artist. So we know what we're doing. Know why you're doing it, know what you want from doing it, know how you're going to do it. Profit. It's a little more detail than I thought I would go into with this, but I thought it was super important because I've done the opposite in the past. Come in without a plan, and it all fell apart because I was a scattered mess. All right, so now our project's got direction and we're in the mindset to actually write it. There are definitely conflicting viewpoints on curating your intake like this, so let me know what you think. Is it helpful, or is it a ticket to sounding derivative? If you're finding anything helpful so far, please leave a like on the video. I will leave links to the other videos in this series somewhere on this page. Thanks for staying with me. I know this one felt a bit like homework, but now we actually get to the fun part. See you in the next one.